Maybe you have been feeling this too. You are chasing algorithms, jumping on the latest trends, performing little short videos that you never in a million years thought you would do. And somewhere inside, you've started to measure the size of your audience as a measure of your success instead of the depth of experience you have to provide. We are in a noisy online world full of AI generated content, empty promises, and too many people calling themselves experts without having the receipts to back it up. And I have been noticing that they're the most aligned audience, the most aligned people, the people that we really want to attract, they're craving something different. And I think you're feeling it too. You want community, you want to trust the leadership voices that you're paying attention to. And, we all want to be a conversation that actually means something. So, inside this episode, I'm unpacking why this next era of authority and business is not just about getting seen online, but it's about creating a community that helps build trust around your leadership voice, your ideas, and the movement and the mission that you're here to lead. And I'm obsessed with Substack about it. So let's dig in and talk about it. You are listening to Amplify Your Success podcast. And today I am excited to talk about something really unique and powerful that's happening inside of one of my favorite platforms, Substack. I know a lot of people are like, Melanie, I don't need another platform. It's not really a platform. And I'm going to share what's happening over there and why I think for people like us who are really focused on thought leadership and who really want to make an impact in the world, there's something that's rising there that you might want to be a part of. So I'm your host, Melanie Benson. I'm an authority amplifier. I am founder of the Authority Accelerator Mastermind, the Rising Tide Collective, and I host the Growth Fuel Substack in addition to this podcast here. And I have been talking more and more about Substack lately. And I know my friends, when we go to lunch, they're like, Melanie, enough with the Substack. But I'm talking about it and sharing it and shouting about it from the rooftops because I think we're in a window of opportunity where if you step in and you really learn how to build the right ecosystem there, you're going to be in a place where your audience is looking for solutions before all your competitors arrive there. And I'm talking today about something that it kind of has been breaking my heart lately. What I'm noticing about the algorithms and the social media presence that so many of us know we need to have, like we need to have a presence there. But what's happening, especially if you're established or you're more maybe you're heart-led, impact-driven, and creating content in the first place and letting yourself be seen at that level feels artificial or inauthentic. And I hear this from people all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have to contort myself to fit the algorithm. I'm chasing, these trends and trying to keep up with the new features. And my best content literally disappears within minutes or hours of putting it up. I know you know the platforms I'm talking about. And even if, listen, like even if your video goes viral, does it really do anything for your business? And here's the worst part is when you're looking at these metrics and you're chasing the algorithms and you're building a presence, which I do think we need to at least have some form of presence on most of these mainstream platforms so that you can be found. Are you actually seeing results? And when you aren't, what are you making it mean? I had several conversations with people applying for Authority Accelerator Mastermind over the last couple of weeks. And what I was noticing is a trend. I'm present there. I'm putting content out. I'm doing all the things I was told to do. I don't think my message is landing, or I think my offer must suck. It must not be what people need because I'm doing everything I was told to do and nothing is working. And so it must be me. So here's what I've been telling people. It's not you, it's them. This is when it actually is true, right? It's not you, it's the algorithm, it's the platform. We aren't built to entertain. That's not how most of us work. Some people are really good at it, and I'm like, bow down, great for you. That's not me. And I found myself last year starting to resent and just feel blocked around what to put out. And once in a while, I would get a little spark and I would do something and I'd get a little lift. But I was like, wow, it's just not the game I want to be in. And maybe you're feeling that too. So instead of feeling deflated and letting that lack of engagement make it mean something that it doesn't, I want to bring a possibility to the room that maybe you're having the right conversations and your message is really close to being true. Sometimes there's a little bit of optimization, but it's where you're broadcasting that message. It's where you're trying to create community when community isn't the goal. And this is why I've been finding Substack a completely refreshing platform. Let's actually not call it a platform, let's call it a community. Because it's not about the size of your audience there. It's about the fact that you're there and you're sharing thought leadership and depth and your realness and your humanity. That's what people love in those environments. Okay, so marketer brain says you need a bigger audience, and of course, we want to build a community of people that are interested in what we do. Very true. But the goal isn't about just having a big audience. What I see in this new era and what I see people who are thriving right now doing differently is building a community that trusts you, that resonates deeply with your leadership voice, with people that I don't want to say they're obsessed with you, but maybe that's true. But they're so inspired by what you put out. They feel so much alignment. They feel like that you're literally speaking to them, that they're the ones that you're the one they choose, that you're the one they refer, that you're the one that is moving the needle in their life. That's trust building. And I think when we switch gears from I'm building an audience and I need to have a huge audience to make a dent in my visibility to, or to even be like considered the right collaborator to, I have a loyal, trusted community that I've been nurturing and developing a relationship with, that positions you as a new era authority. This is what authentic authority is about. So let's talk just for a minute about kind of the elephant in the room and something a lot of us are talking about behind the scenes. And I'm sensitive to not making anybody wrong with this because I think this is just like there's this energetic arc we've been moving through as a collective where we are moving from a lot of authority influence driven tactics to something that's more sustainable and that's going to be more fulfilling in this new energetic shift that's happening in the world. But what we saw during COVID is we call them the COVID coaches. Like we had a slew of new coaches that hit the market because they took these 48-hour weekend long coaching programs. They bought someone's system. They learned a process. They learned a strategy. And now they're hitting the market with not a lot of skill, but really good marketing, telling you they're and promising you the world, and they can't deliver it. Now let's add that to the AI generated sales copy and content that is prolific. And I'm not saying AI is bad. Like I use AI, like I use AI to help me sort out information, to, accomplish certain tasks, to help me create show notes. I mean, it's not that we don't use it, but it is not my thought leadership. And so we have all of this AI generated thought leadership, quote unquote, that people are now skeptical. What's real? What's not? What can I count on? People are saying they can do this, but they don't. Well, that's a whole episode in itself. But let's just say that just because somebody says that they do something doesn't mean that they're capable of it. It means they know how to press the button to get people to buy. They know what to say. And that doesn't mean the capacity and their capability and their experience can stand behind that promise. Now, we all learn, we all have to start somewhere. So I am not bashing new coaches. The difference is selling what you can do and are capable of versus selling something that's more of an illusion, a promise that gets people to buy that doesn't have the backing to it. Why am I talking about this? Because something shifts in trust when you have a community and an ecosystem where you and your work are being kind of dropped like little breadcrumbs and integrated between catchy concepts and your frameworks and video and or podcasts and audio, whatever your mechanism is, but you are layering your knowledge and integrating your knowledge into different ways people can access it, and you're sticking deeply to the pillars that tie completely to your thought leadership, your convictions, your beliefs, your experience. That's what nurtures and builds trust in a community where you are witnessed and maybe even revered for your leadership voice, for the work that you are here to do. That's the kind of trust that I am standing behind. That's the kind of trust. That's the kind of work that I get excited to help people cultivate. Look, people are craving belonging to something that matters. Nobody needs more content. People want to feel you. I call it an energetic transmission. People are craving being part of a conversation that they believe in with people they trust and a community that feels worth investing time, money, and energy to gather with. Whether that's live events, a podcast, or a community, whatever that is, like you have to have the trust of the leader. The leader has to stand for something that feels possible, and they have to be able to demonstrate the capacity to hold that space for the people that they want to gather. Trusted leaders are not just collecting followers. I think that age is deteriorating as part of an old paradigm, an old energetic equation that said, build a big audience, make more sales. Build a bigger audience, have more influence, make more sales. Today's leaders, the new era leaders that I'm really excited to be a part of, the people who are integrating impact, authority, and community, they don't just collect followers. They build a room of people that feel connected to something. This is a new skill set, right? Like not everybody knows how to do this yet. This is not look at me, get attention, perform for an algorithm type stuff. This is join me in this conversation. Let's be a part of something that's going to shift the collective consciousness. This is let's lead together as partners in this outcome that we all believe in, right? So this is not, I'm the guru, you're the student. This is, we all have a part in this transformation that's possible. I have a piece that you want. You may have a piece that I want. This is where leadership becomes essential because somebody needs to claim the conversation and guide people, gather people, hold the space. That's the rooms that are going to kill it right now. That's the room that's going to move people into programs, into live events, into experiences that make a difference. And I think this is where our leadership voice is essential because it gathers people towards a point of view. But you got to have a clear point of view. You've got to have thought leadership. You have to be able to convey your convictions. And you need a place to gather people. I mean, who's gathering people on Instagram? If you are, please tell me. I want to celebrate you. If you're gathering people on LinkedIn, awesome. There are some people that have some really great momentum there. It does work for some people. You need to find the place, the gathering spot, if you will, or the watering hole, whatever whatever metaphor you want to use. You need to find the place that lights your soul on fire. And if you're not there right now, I want you to consider Substack. And if you do have a place, I still want you to consider Substack because something's different is happening there. Substack is where depth, experience, connection, and community live together. The ease of the ecosystem. I talk a lot about ecosystems. As a matter of fact, I did an episode a few episodes back about the content ecosystem that acts like your invisible Salesforce. I'm actually doing a masterclass on this because I am so clear that most people have such disjointed content and they're so overwhelmed because it's on 17 different platforms. They've got a podcast on one platform, they're pulling videos on another tool, then they're publishing it across multiple social platforms, hoping that people will see it, but it's not moving the needle. Let me give you a little hint about what I'm going to talk about in this masterclass. The reason why I'm so hot for Substack as a content ecosystem is the audience is already there. See, Substack, the founders of Substack, they get paid when you get paid. So it is in their interest to put your content in front of people that might want to upgrade and become a paid subscriber or, buy one of your tools. They get paid when you get paid. So they're not interested in trying to force you to pay for advertising or holding back the algorithm because they want you to do all of this crazy stuff to get access. Like the very first post I put on Substack, I had so many people welcome me. I had instant connections and friends there. Substack makes it really easy to not just create your content, not just integrate your content into an ecosystem, not just to collaborate, which I'm going to do a whole episode on the collaboration potential there, because you know me, I'm all about the collaboration. It is making it easy to grow community with heart, with soul, with impact, and with being a human being. I mean, doesn't that feel refreshing? Here's what it's not. It's not a place to dump your content and just broadcast. You can do that on any other social platform. You don't need to be on Substack for that. It doesn't reward it. Substack rewards connection. Doesn't mean it's going to take you hours and hours. It does mean you need to be strategic. You need to really understand the ecosystem you want to create and what you want it to do for you. And you definitely want to make sure that you understand how to connect in your thought leadership. Because Substack rewards the uniqueness. It doesn't want you to sound like everybody else. So I really love the collaborative angle, the collaborative spirit, the kind of like the reduction of there's like not a lot of what we might say competitive energy there. It is very uplifting. And people love doing collaborations because it is so easy. You don't need a whole bunch of expensive tech. It's all integrated right there. And there's so many different ways. Like if you're not a video person, there's audio. If you're not an audio person and a video person, there's written form, there's notes, there's all these different ways that you can collaborate. So I am been getting so many questions since I started talking about Substack about how can I get going on Substack? Can you tell me what you're doing? Can you give me a little insight? Well, I couldn't keep up with it all. So I decided to integrate the Substack training into my Authority Accelerator program. And even more exciting, it's something that you can do on your own. You don't have to join the entire Authority Accelerator program. You can go directly into my Unignorable Substack Accelerator program. It's a 6-week program. And what we're doing there is building out your thought leadership, your publication, your brand positioning, teaching you how to build an audience, teaching you how to really like bring that community energy to the space and to collaborate in a way that helps you fill your community with people who need and want what you do. It's pretty exciting what's happening. So I will make sure to link up in the show notes. First of all, the masterclass I'm teaching on the invisible sales force that Substack is. Because I think if nothing else, it's really, this is something you can apply to any platform. But I'm super excited about what Substack's doing. And if you're interested and you've been maybe considering Substack, you've been being told that Substack's a good place to be, or you're just looking for the right place to build community and to create a platform that really allows you to elevate the conversation that you're here to have, then I definitely want you to check out the Unignorable Substack Accelerator. As I mentioned before, I think we're emerging into a new paradigm. I think we have to look at how we are positioning and growing our authority inside of the shifts that are occurring. If we want to stay relevant, if we want to stay in the game, and we want to continue to grow our business, you need community. You need people who believe in what you do. And whether you're just getting started or you've been at this a really long time, I think Substack is a powerful platform for that. So I know you don't need another platform to manage, but I want you to have community. Yes, you can be on Circle, you can build a school community. All of that is that's a different energy than what's happening on Substack. And that's why I want you to at least join me in the Invisible Salesforce Masterclass, because I want to paint the picture of what's happening there and how it fits into some things that may be already working well. So thank you for tuning in today to Amplify Your Success. If you found this episode valuable, if your curiosity is piqued, I'd love to hear from you. Hey, come join me on Substack. Tell me that you listened to today's episode and share it and tag me on social. Or, if you haven't given the show a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, that would mean the world to me. That's like basically saying, hey, love the show, want to support you and make sure it keeps going, because then it gives other people a really exciting reason to tune in. And if you haven't gotten into Substack, come join me on Growth Fuel. We're covering all kinds of amazing things around strategic visibility and collaboration in this new era of business. And I really want you to be recognized for your leadership voice. So let's deep dive into that. I will see you on next week's episode.